Hello there. Happy Monday. Uh, there's been some stuff revealed as at the. Sorry, my name's Dan. Hi. Uh, there's been some Empire stuff revealed at the World Championships. Apparently, don't know what's going on at the World Championships or where they are or whatever, but I'm sure we'll find out in a second. That's the battalion. It's quite nice. Quite a nice little battalion box there. You've got a load of state troops, a load of missile troops. That's quite nice. I don't think the missile troops include archers. I think they're just handgunners and crossbowmen. I think Empire archers are in a different box. And a steam tank, which is the Empire's premier smoke belching engine of war, featuring enough command options to split your units of 30 if you wish. Yeah, I think the how many is there? There's 30. Yeah, I think was it 20 in a box, or was it 10 per command sprue? I think. There's the book. Plastic kits. You've got the old Imperial Griffin, which model I really don't like. It just looks too fat and a bit kind of derpy, really. But hey ho. There's the old state troopers, spears or. I mean, you're gonna see spears most of the time, I would have thought. But anyway, you don't get because I mean you used to see a lot of sword and board type stuff in previous editions because shields gave you an extra +1 in hand to hand in combat. So yeah, there's your missile troops. The cool thing is the champion does come with a Hochland long rifle, so you can build like an Imperial engineer as well just by putting more stuff on him, basically making him look a bit more gnarly. So these are actually decent value box because you can do quite a lot with it. Flagellants are back. I actually quite like flagellants. Their rule sets makes them quite good. You know, if you stick a priest with Nia, I think you can stick a priest in the unit. I think priests are the only thing. But I mean, priests upgrading that unit. Yes, it's got no armor, but they do have flails. Flails are really nasty, and I think they're unbreakable. So they're actually really good. We got you get 20 great swords in a box, which is very kind of Germanic. I mean, the Empire is very German thing, but these are more like your kind of your Landsknecht sort of troopers. There's your Imperial archers. They're well worth getting because like a little unit of skirmishing archers just to be a pain in the neck and just get in the way. That's a decent strat for the Empire. You've then got your Free Company militia, which is actually good for Bretonnian players as well because they're basically Border Prince brigands as well. So these are going to be out soon. You get a couple of cannons in a box now. You can make a cannon or a mortar out of that kit. They used to that used to be £10 for a cannon. I think when they were first released, they were £10 for a cannon. I doubt that box is going to be as cheap as £20, but we can hope. And then these also, same as the cannon and the mortar, these essentially come on the same sprue. But you're obviously going to go with a Hellblaster, right? Because the rocket thing is rubbish. Got more stuff, more plastic kits. So they're doing. It used to be 8 in a box because they're basically a sprue has the horses are on their own sprues, but the riders there were 4 per sprue, so they've just put 3 sprues in basically. I love how with like the old world they're just making the boxes bigger, so you get more troops. Essentially, I think that's quite cool. Here's your Outriders. Pistoliers are rubbish. Outriders are great, so get some of them. Hippogriff Knights, not Hippogriff Knights, Griff Knights, Griff somethings. These are actually, the rule set's really good. Again, I don't like the models because I think they look fat, but they just look a bit derpy. But you know, the rule set's great, so you're gonna be getting them. These are like your super heavy cavalry. These are actually, I've maligned them, I think, previously, but these are a good core choice because they're, you know, good cavalry. You're probably not going to bother with Inner Circle because these are better than Inner Circle Knights, sort of. They do a different job, I guess, but like, yeah. Inner Circle Knights are basically just a better version of these, so these can be Inner Circle Knights as well. The cool thing is the set. These are Knights Panther. You also get enough stuff to do Reichsguard, which are kind of a bit more Imperial themed. And I think White Wolves are on the same sprue. So Knights of the White Wolf are on the same sprue. I think you're probably not going to see many Knights of the White Wolf unless people really like them. The other cool thing is the champion upgrades. There's so many cool champion upgrades that you really don't need to do any Grandmasters or Masters or whatever. You can just like put all the seals and stuff on one of these. And although there is they both look more like captains, don't they? I don't know, generals and stuff. We've got the War Altar coming back, which that's not a great model to assemble and paint. There's lots. It's very fiddly, but it does look pretty cool if you do a decent job. I've never liked the Golden Demon version of this. This is Golden Demon. The the heavy metal version of this. I don't like that. It just, I don't know. I'd like more wood. I don't know, red painted wood. It's just a bit kind of 90s really. There's the steam tank again. I think in the narrative, in the lore, there were only like 13 of them made ever. Something like that. So they should be super rare. I think they should be better, but more expensive, to be honest. But, you know, with toughness 7 and 10 wounds and a 2-up save, I think they've got a 2-up save, haven't they? They're pretty darn nasty. But, yeah. There's lots of stuff that, like, ignores armor saves, which, you know, obviously rips through this. So then we've got some resin coming back. So there's I don't know why they brought that back, but they have Flagellant. That was like a I think it was a Games Day one, wasn't it? From years ago. It's like a Flagellant champion. What on earth is this? I've got one of my wife's hairs caught up in my beard. Battle Standard Bearer, captain sort of thing. That is a cool model. I like that. That dude, I don't know what he is. He's some kind of captain, obviously, but can't remember him, to be honest. This is cool. The old war wagon, which was like an engineering corps thing, and it's like a little castle thing, and it's got like, there's a guy with a long rifle, there's a blunderbuss, there's a man catcher, there's a halberd, there's a repeater pistol, and I think a repeater handgun in there as well somewhere. So it's basically, it's like a little wagon that's got all the weapons. So I don't know, it says it's on a made to order basis. Again, it's a bit derpy and doesn't really fit on the base, but I might get one because that's proper nostalgia bait, that, because that's the iconic Empire madness sort of thing. So I like that. Metal miniatures. Oh god. Oh, that's resin, is it? Oh, that's going to be horrible. I might not get it then. Metal stuff. So we've got an alternate Battle Standard Bearer, which is a terrible model. Don't like that. You've got this. I think he's supposed to be a witch hunter. I really like the AOS ones. Galen and Durelia Van Drent, or whatever they're called. They're pretty cool witch hunter models. We've got a load of warrior priests. I had that one, the one with the big massive hammer, last time round. Again, I don't know why do we need all four? Are they all on the same mould or something? Is that Is that it? So they've just decided to release them because that model's horrendous. The other three are pretty good. Well, I say horrendous. I'm being uncharitable, but I don't like it. I think it's the hand position on the handle. It just looks a bit kind of. There's something. The balance is off. Maybe his feet are too big. They've gone a bit too hero hammery with his feet. I don't know. Whereas these three are pretty cool. Yeah, I like them. These what are they? They must be masters and grandmasters of. Oh yeah, okay. So in previous editions, if you didn't know, sometimes you could unhorse people in like was it fifth or sixth? You could unhorse people. You could shoot the horse out. So you had to have like a model on foot just in case the horse got killed or something. That I'm vaguely remembering, but he's not even the same, is he? So I don't know. That's probably. I'm probably thinking of a different game to be honest. But anyway, yeah, these are sort of Grandmaster of the White Wolf sort of stuff. No, they're not, idiot. They're the Wolf Priests, aren't they? Yeah. Where's the Grandmasters then? There's some engineers. Again, you don't really need to buy them because you just get the handgunner kit and just make your own out of the unit champions. I mean, the unit champions look better than these anyway. So here's your Grandmasters. There's a Grandmaster of the Knights of the Blazing Sun, Knights Panther there, White Wolf there. Where's the Reichsguard? Interesting. Well, that's interesting. They're White Wolf, Knights of the White Wolf on foot, but you get a command for them and the old Imperial Ogre, which was like a mercenary sort of thing. Who that's a quite an old model. That's a proper nostalgia bait sort of thing. Tutagen Guard warriors and command also make the return. Selection of Imperial ogres, some with great weapons, and one with a light cannon. That doesn't look like a light cannon. That just looks like a. Yeah, maybe. It's a bit of a weird release, actually. So presumably there's like a unit of these, but they've only got these three ready to be photoed. There's no Reichsguard. Is there? Yeah, because these are supposed to be like, not elect accounts because they don't exist yet, but these are supposed to be like captains and commanders and stuff like that. Does the Reichsguard not exist at this time point? Is that what? Oh, hold on a minute. We're 2277, aren't we? So the Reichsguard don't actually exist yet. Oh, I did not know that. I didn't know they were that new, really. Interesting. That feels like. I'm surprised they've not retconned that, to be honest, because like the Reichsguard were like iconic Empire cavalry. Like they were this kind of like iconic, like red and white. That's what they look like. They were. They're pretty iconic in terms of like the Empire. I mean, in fact, the old Empire Knights box, you know. was a bit kind of Reichsguardy. So like, yeah, that's a real. Yeah, it's interesting that they've not decided to. That they've decided to uh, not include them. There they are. That's the Reichsguard. That's what they were kind of like. Yeah, nah. Um, yeah, so that's it. An interesting selection of. It feels like a random selection of stuff, really, doesn't it? Because like, there's no like hedge witches and stuff like that, which I'm a bit kind of. I wonder what theme they're going to go with then, because I feel like Nuln is like a thing, because like every faction seems to have like a big sort of sorry so the dwarves, they've got the expeditionary force, which is kind of a bit engineery but not. You've then also got the Slayer Keep, which was a sub faction within a sub faction, and then you've got like the Royal Court thing, which is a bit of a weird sub faction, but they're a bit more kind of traditional and less engineering really. So they've got one that's more engineering and one that's like more troop based, and then you've got these things here. So it's it just feels a bit random. Like a lot of it feels a bit random. I mean, a lot of it feels like model availability and just what they've managed to get done in the time that they've allotted the because these all the metals and all the resins have been resculpted. They tell us, and actually you can see that because like these two. I mean, I only vaguely remember these models, but like I'm sure they weren't that detailed. Um, that engineer has definitely had some work done to it. Like it's a lot crisper than it used to be. Like the feathers just feel a lot more crisp than they were. So I have no doubt that they have actually done quite a lot of work to get the resins better. But it is iconic though, and like that's an engineering thing. So like engineering is definitely going to be. Sorry, the war wagon is like an engineer core sort of item. So there's a lot of engineer related stuff. The fact that you've got a steam tank in your like core battalion sort of does message that, because if they were going does message that they're going to go down the engineering route, because if they were going to go like because I mean, this is an odd battalion as well, because what I was expecting was some knights, some foot troops, some archers, and a couple of cannons, and that would make a nice battalion with like a whole variety of stuff. There's no cavalry in this, so like it's a real weird mix of bits and bobs. Right, let's go through this. Oh, I missed it already. So there's some alternatively painted Knights Panther. No, Nuln. Here we go. So Nuln is going to be a thing, which is cool because I love Nuln. It's like it's my favourite of city in the Empire. Really, yeah. I just love how like dirty and grimy and like steampunk it is. It's great. There's some more knights. I don't know what order they are. Yeah, Warhammer, the old world. Yeah, we get it. So, out of the here we go. Here's a big. Okay, so we've got the Pegasus back as well. That's another model that's being re-released. That wasn't part of the preview stuff. There's another. That's a captain, or is that a grandmaster there? There's a little. That's the engineer that comes with that. There's quite a lot of knights. That's a Hellstorm rocket. There's some outriders and stuff there. Demigriff knights. That's it. Free company. Yeah, so the only thing we're getting off this is Pegasus. The scenery's great. I love all this old Empire scenery. It's fantastic. I really need to get some. Yeah, yeah. A bulwark against the rising darkness. A two-headed thing with a beastie whatever wizard on. Yeah, we've seen this. We've seen those. Stand together. Alright. Yeah, and the banners. What are these banners? That's Marienburg. That's Middenland, I think. That's Stierland, and that's Ostermark, I believe. And that's kind of a bit Nulny. So, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see which way they go. I guess, like, they could go quite naval, but that's a bit engineering as well. But they could go, like, Marienburg trader, sort of naval kind of force. They could also go lazy, like they did with Warriors of Chaos, and just have, like, you know, a cavalry force. Which they did with... Now, they did the nomadic war with orcs and goblins, which kind of makes sense to me, because, like, the concept of, like, a hypermobile nomadic war is very kind of lore-friendly and absolutely makes sense. And then they got to, like, Warriors of Chaos, and were like, oh... I mean, that kind of heralds of whatever, which was all mounted for Warriors of Chaos, it just feels a bit clumsy, because it's like Chaos do have a lot of knights, yeah, but like it just feels a bit clumsy. It's like, oh, we can't really think of another sub faction. They've not brought the Forsaken models back, which I'm really annoyed about, because, like, you know, they are part of the rule set. So what I'm doing at the moment is just using my normal Chaos Warriors and saying, oh, they're Forsaken. I don't have any Chaos Warriors or Chosen or anything. It's just a big block of Forsaken. And people seem to be fine with that, because, you know, they know what the crack is, and the models aren't back yet. So, you know, I can't bloody buy them. But anyway, back to the... So they could go lazy and just go for, like, a knightly order sort of army, where everything has to be mounted, and, you know, you get to re-roll ones on the charge, that kind of thing. Which I really hope they don't do, because, like with the Heralds of Darkness, right, if they'd have made that so, like, Chosen Knights were, like, you could have more than one unit of them, for instance, that would have been cool. And I think you'd have actually seen that at tournaments, because Chosen Knights are swingy, but really, really super effective. So having, like, a kind of an almost Varangard style force, like having Chosen Knights as not 0 to 1, and having them as, like, core, for instance, would have made a really interesting faction. Because I don't think Chosen Knights are overpowered. Anyway, this is a video about the Empire. Maybe. So we got some Empire stuff. Deathcore of Krieg are cool. Yeah, this is the other thing I wanted to talk about them. Is there a book out? Grotmus calendar. Oh, yeah, I said I was going to do Blogmas, didn't I? Don't really know how I'm going to do Blogmas. I'll have to do a lot more hobbying. So, oh, what the bloody hell? So, Defrazzle Fangs, blah 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 blah. That is, like, so obviously the whatever his name was from the Orc and Goblin book, don't you think? Like, it's a bit weird that they're releasing it for, like, this, because they could have just put all of this on square bases, and, you know, that would have looked really cool. Although, oh, I don't know. The aesthetic, though, it is very AOS-y. It's not very fantasy, is it? It's very AOS-y. But, like, you could get away with it, I think. I think, you know, orcs and goblins you can get away with. Yeah, I mean, and this is now the Doom Diver catapult for AOS. It's like I I just don't get it. Like I don't because like that's doesn't look anywhere near as good as the old Doom like some of their like aesthetic and design choices just baffle me sometimes because like this is the oh, for God's sakes, let me see it big. So this is the like at least it looks like it might glide a little bit. And here, I mean, yeah, I mean the new model it has a lot more detail to it, but in fact this is the old version. It has been remastered a little bit, so it does look a bit better than this. But anyway, you know, it kind of makes sense. He's on this like thing, and he's going to get catapulted forwards, right? Whereas this new one, like the bow's up here, and the sort of the catch is there, so he's going to be pulled back down here and then flung in that kind of trajectory. Why have they got like a greased? Because he's not even going to get anywhere near that ramp, is he? Because he's just going to go. I mean, there's your direction of travel, so he's just going to fly that way. He's not even going to touch that. So that doesn't make sense. It's not like there's two spikes here that are driving him forwards, then this is giving him the elevation and the... Very odd. Very odd. Doesn't really make an awful lot of sense. Look, there you go. He's just going to go that way. He's not even going to touch that. Bit weird. And why do they keep doing that with their faces and making them all like... not very goblin-y, really. It's quite odd. It's quite odd. Have we got any books? Uh-huh. Right. I don't like what they're doing with Gotrek. It's like... Gotrek and Felix was cool. Gotrek and some, you know, dark elf doesn't feel right. But anyway, I should stop whinging because they've brought Old World back, and that will do me. Is there anything else for the Old World, or is it just that? Oh, they haven't even told us about put the preview into this yet, have they? Oh no, it's there. It's there. It's there. Model reveal. Blah blah blah. So that's in that, and that's it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. I'm afraid that's the release. Well, I say I'm afraid. I mean, to be fair, they're bringing out quite a lot of the old. Don't know why I clicked on that. They're bringing out quite a lot of the old Empire stuff. There's stuff that they've not put on here that they're bringing out. The battalion's not terrible. It's a bit of an interesting inclusion though to have, like I said, to have the steam tank in there is a bit, like, yeah, a bit unexpected, but okay, fine. I guess Nuln is going to be a thing. And I guess they're probably going to get lazy and just have like a cavalry, like mounted, all mounted sort of thing. But Outriders are pretty cool. I don't think any of these models have been remastered. They all look exactly the same as they were, which is not terrible. The resins definitely had a bit of an uplift, but Yeah, 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 yeah. There doesn't seem to be that much resin. Uh, it also comes with an exclusive new engineer armed with it. So this is a. Oh, so I thought that was a new engineer. Is it really? I can. Am I remembering a dwarf that looks a bit like that? I think I'm remembering a dwarf in that pose. I vaguely remember that model from somewhere. I could have sworn that was already. Oh, obviously I'm wrong. Obviously, yeah, I'm thinking of something else. Was there an engineer over here? There were these guys. I'm sure they did another engineer at some point at like a games day or something. I'm sure they did. Well, obviously they didn't, and I'm making it up. Um, cool. Yeah, that's about it. So that's exciting, isn't it? Well, Empire are definitely next. I think they said January, didn't they, for Empire? Um, oh, what was the roadmap after that? It was it High Elves? I think maybe. It's in that one, isn't it? Empire of Man, then High Elves. Yeah, High Elves. I can't wait for. I've always wanted. High Elves are like the faction that I never got, and I always wanted. Oh, named characters for the Empire. Who's about? Who defeated? Because what they're doing with the characters is like they're doing precursors. So like the Chaos Lady character, she's like a precursor for somebody else for the next Ever Chosen. I've forgotten who the next Ever Chosen is, but she's like a precursor for the next Ever Chosen's lieutenants. Um, so Empire Man, who's it going to be? Presumably some like engineer dude from Nuln, if they're going to do that. So like the human equivalent of Burlock Daminson. Um, I'd. What else would I say? If they're going to do like a nightly thing, probably like a named Grandmaster of something or other. That would be quite cool. Also, if they haven't got like the Reichsguard because they're not here yet, like a Grandmaster of like the Knights of the Blazing Sun or the Knights Panther would be pretty cool. Um, yeah. And then High Elves, they are doing precursor character. They're not really doing like proper main characters in this timeline yet. So it's not going to be Tyrion and Teclis, is it? I'd love it if it was Tyrion and Teclis. Uh, I'd love it if it was Teclis. Actually, in fact, no. I want Teclis. Screw that. I want Teclis. They've brought back Galarauch, so they can bring back Teclis, right? Yeah, bring back Teclis and let's have another minor high elfy hero. Like, I don't know, some uh, uh, handmaiden of the Everqueen sort of special character would be quite cool, I think. But yeah, definitely bring back Teclis. Everybody wants Teclis because he's an insufferable arse, but like wielding him on the tabletop is so much fun. It is in Age of Sigmar as well. I took Lumineth to a tournament a while ago and did really badly, despite the fact they weren't that that low down in the meta. But a few years ago I had this habit of like collecting a 2K army, not playing with it at all, and then just going straight into a tournament. And the time I did that with the whole Teclis thing, I started to get the hang of it by like game four. But like Lumineth were really difficult to use. Well, I say really difficult to use. They had a very unique play style that made them quite challenging. that you have to get everything to do its job properly. And I would have won more games had there was one game in particular where I got some really terrible dice rolls. Well, in fact, no, he got some really good dice rolls, and then I got some really terrible dice rolls. For instance, I think he managed to make 3 11-inch charges in one turn, which is just ridiculous. I mean, that was out of the 4 charges that he made. So, like, I got so I got really unlucky. He got lucky. I got really unlucky. So I think that really made the difference in that game. But and I think this the same is true nowadays of high elves in general. In that you've got to get everything to. There's nothing in it that's really good on its own, but you've got to get everything to work together. And if you do that, then it'll gel. And I think that's always been the case with high elves. Like, you can't, and I've said this since the beginning, but you can't waste them. Every high elf life is precious because they're a declining race is the narrative, and you just can't waste them. They're just they're difficult to use on purpose. Because it's very characterful. It feels very high elfy, but. Yeah, cool. So, Empire of Man out presumably at the start of the year. Then High Elves presumably in summer at some point. And then what have we got left? So we've done Bretonia. Then I've done Wood Elves, Beastmen. Wood Elves, Beastmen? Is that it? What else? What were the bad guys? There were Tomb Kings, Chaos, Beastmen, Orcs, and Goblins. Good guys were High Elves, Wood Elves, Empire, Bretonia, Dwarves. Yeah, so it's just Wood Elves and Beastmen. So I'd expect 2025 Empire at the start of the year, High Elves coming out sometime around May. July, August, September sort of time, Wood Elves and Beastmen, I hope. And then that'll be all the old world stuff done. So, 2026, what happens then? I mean, what they should do is Cathay, because Cathay is like, if you look at Total Warhammer, then I think Cathay is like the most played faction or something. Merworms and nautical, like, to anybody who doesn't know what the merworm is, it's like, it's not a high elf model, but for some reason they've bloody decided that's a high elf model. Like, come on, look at it. Look at it. It's not a high. Oh God, it's just rancid. And like so weird, and like, what is that? What is it? What, like, seriously? What is it? Although I guess with that size, I could probably use some sharks from. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. It's 40 minutes in of me just waffling and getting a bit kind of frustrated, and yeah, some of the, like I keep saying, I think some of the choices that they're making are a bit weird, and it just feels like they're just trying to rush everything now because they just want to get everything out and make a load of money, because it's the initial release of like the old world stuff sold very, very well. And I don't know about you, but like my interest in it has waned a little bit since the release, really, because they started heavy, and they started releasing quite a lot of stuff, and now the momentum's kind of dropped off, and it just feels a bit less kind of. But then again, that rugby season started, so I've had a few weeks of focusing on that, so that's probably not waned, it's just sort of shifted to something else. So Yeah, I need to get my paintbrush back out and start actually doing some hobby stuff. But anyway, yeah, I said I was going to go, didn't I? So I shall wish you an excellent whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. And should have a stats video, which I'll be recording on Wednesday. I just thought I'd do this quick video on Monday because there's stuff that's happened over the weekend, including England actually winning a game of rugby, which was nice. I was a bit worried about Japan. I was a bit worried that our defence would be a bit porous, and to be fair, it was. But aggressively we were great, so we scored a load of points. But anyway, you don't want to listen to me talk about rugby. Well, you might do. I don't know. Anyway, toodaloo, bye bye.